Hello YouTube, this is Darcy from Mad About Orchids. Today I want to talk to you about one of my favourite Australian species orchid, which I will show you in a moment. My favourite species native to Australia is called Dockrillia teretifolia, formerly known as Dendrobium teretifolium. Here, this is one of our specimens here. Dendrobium teretifolium is also known as the pencil orchid, rat's tail orchid, or the bridal veil orchid. This orchid is indigenous to Queensland and in New South Wales. It grows at elevations of 500 to 800 metres. This orchid is generally a fairly warm growing plant, but will grow in a cooler environment. This orchid blooms from around July, August, September sort of area. The flowers are pure white with some purple throughout the lip and petals. It is also a sweet, fragrant orchid. Blooms last about a couple of weeks per flower, and as they get older, they're just covered in blossoms. This one here I've got growing mounted on a log with some Plantia usinoides, commonly known as the old man's beard or Spanish moss. It is grown on a piece of pine. I've owned this orchid for about 4 years now, and they are slow growing. They don't take off rapidly and have vigor until you've had it for at least a year in your collection, so it acclimatizes. In cooler environments, it will flower later in the season. If you keep it in a warm greenhouse or inside the home, it flowers a little bit earlier. This orchid here, that I'm just showing you, has been on this mount for the last 10 or 12 years. So in saying that, here's the full extent of the plant. It's not that big. But I found with my experience with it, Dendrobium teretifolium or Dockrillia teretifolia, whatever you want to call it, it is a very low maintenance orchid as far as they're concerned. They don't have any pseudobulbs. It's a lot like vanilla where it grows out long vines with your terete style leaves. It's a very easy species to grow. I've grown it out here in the garden. If you grow your plants outside and you have frost, put them under cover, under your eaves or in your garage or wherever you still get light and where it's a bit warmer. So care-wise, over summer or during the growing season, you would water this, being it's mounted, maybe 4 or 5 times a week, and you would fertilize it with every second or third watering, thereabouts. And in winter, I cut water completely. I don't even fertilize, only when in bloom I'll start watering it very little again, and after flowering, new growth kicks in. Per year on average with this plant I get maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 new growths a year on it. So not much. But it's worthwhile. I grow it for the perfume. Personally, it's a very sweet perfume. And that's all there is to say about it, really. Other than it being unique and different behind it here, right over here. I've got Gongora galliata right behind it. Not sure if you can see it too well, but it's right behind me here. Right where my hand is, it's right there. And in a lot of ways, I do treat this orchid a lot like my Cymbidium suave. Over summer, I drench it a lot and keep it really, really damp. Then over winter, I don't touch it whatsoever. And in saying that, if you do grow these plants like and Cymbidium suave in cooler environments, don't water them, especially if you get cold nights. So this year, we will be expecting, I'll be expecting blooms on this starting to show around mid-July when I'll start seeing buds and spikes. And then around sort of second week into August, I'll have the blooms. So on that note, check back with me in a couple of months and I'll post up a video of the blooms. Until then, this is Darcy from Mad About Orchids. See ya.